Hello, hello, hello. Hi, welcome. I am Sylvia Hayes, and you are watching Good News at Primetime. Tonight, we have a good show tonight. We're going to be talking about happiness, the feel good thing, because we have came through the pandemic and a lot of people have been bored, depressed, and everything that's going through, some of them going through domestic abuse because of this, because they're being stuck up in the house and everything. So we're going to bring a show on called the Feel Good Medicine, because we all need to feel good right now, because taxes is killing some people, making them stressed out. So we don't want to stress right now. We want to feel good, because feeling good actually, I don't know if you know this or not, but happy people live longer than unhappy people. Happy people live longer. So just remember that is a medicine. Just being happy will make you live longer. We're going to talk about that. We got a few comedians on board who's going to talk about the show that's coming up, which is June the 3rd. We're going to go into more details on that one. And of course, I got to talk about my book, Power Thoughts, Empowering You to Be Successful in Life. This book is a very powerful book. You can get it at AandKproductions.com. AandKproductions.com. Get that book. You won't regret it when you get the book. You can get ebook as well as hard copy. Okay, ebook as well as hard copy. I know a lot of people don't want to buy the book, but they will read on the phone, because everybody reads on their phone. Okay, so get the book. You will enjoy it. It will help your life, your friend's life, and give you some wisdom, and it'll perk you up. All of that good stuff. And so, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and bring everybody in. First of all, we're going to bring in my co-host, Mr. Reggie Drummer. Hey, Reggie, how you doing today?
I'm ready for the good news. I'm ready for the medicine. I'm ready for the laughter. We in such a world where we got to resurrect laughter and peace. There's a lot going on, so much going on out there, shootings and stuff like that. So we need to look at the fun side of life. Sometimes we take this thing a little bit too serious. Some folk are really, really, really going off the chain. And
Yeah.
the season just started. You would think during this resurrection, Ramadan, Passover, Lent, we'd have a lot less violence. We had a shooting Monday, right after Easter, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and then right before Easter, right, and so people need to kind of calm down and, you know, tell a joke, relax, smile. So for everybody in the good news, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button, because we're gonna bring you some joy tonight. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too. We have a show coming up in June called Lord, I Need a Laugh. Lord, I Need a Laugh. LAWD. Lord, I Need a Laugh. And it's to lift the spirits of the people, because so many people's spirits have been down. We want to
Hmm.
lift the spirits, and there are people who want comedy, but they don't want the raunchy stuff.
Ooh.
They get offended when they're talking about sex and cursing and all that kind of stuff. Some people get offended. They don't want to be around that. So we're bringing the clean comedy to make
Oh,
everybody happy. Yeah,
yes.
that's what we're doing. We're bringing clean comedy and good gospel music to lift your spirits, make everybody happy. That's what it's all about. Feeding the soul. Yeah, that's
It's
what
kind of rough when the comedians are upset. I ain't gonna say
we.
nothing about that. I'm gonna keep my mouth closed.
Okay.
But when the comedians are mad, woo, it's hard to find laughter.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and bring on the rest of our guests so we can talk about all of this good stuff. Hi, we got
Hey,
Jackie, we got Black Coffee, and Mika Chan. How are you guys doing?
I'm great.
Okay,
I
great.
Awesome.
And we got two
Super
more.
thank
We
you
fantastic.
for
got
And
asking.
yourself?
Flavor and Kevin Young.
hey,
Y'all doing okay?
Hey there, how y'all doing?
doing
Doing
great,
good.
awesome.
That's good. That's
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Super fantastic. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Flavor, you sounded a little muffled.
I am. Can you hear me now?
I hear
Yeah.
you, but it's still a little muffled.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, if you got Bluetooth, you might have to disconnect
Oh,
from your Bluetooth.
Yeah, like he got on the headset. That's a,
oh, okay. Well, let me add then.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
So, guys, your job is to make people happy. How has that been going for you so far?
Well, for me, it's been more about making myself happy.
facts.
Cause just like you were saying,
Who's that question directed towards?
but
Who's
just
this
like
directed towards?
you were saying,
Can you hear me?
me, I have to keep myself laughing. There is laughter always in my home. And so I decided I wanted to share that with others. So that's how I ended up in comedy. Okay, I'm gonna tell the truth. I ended up in comedy because I realized that social services wasn't gonna take care of me in retirement.
Okay.
So it was either comedy or stripping. And
Okay.
because I walk out on stage and make them pay me to put my clothes back on.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Power to the strippers.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made no money for retirement doing that. So I
oh.
figured I have a better chance at comedy.
Oh, okay.
If
Well,
it
comedy is you
don't
had a
work
good
for me, I'm
choice.
oh.
I'm sorry, Mickey, will say that again.
I said, well, if comedy doesn't work out for me, I might have to hit the pole. I'll let y'all know how that
Okay.
turns out.
Mickey, I'm
Okay.
gonna have to walk out on stage butt naked and make them pay me for every piece of clothes I put back on to cover some up.
Uh-huh.
I will make
Clean.
my money. I will make my
I
money.
promise you, I ain't gonna get nothing. I promise you, I ain't gonna get nothing cold nickel, but it's okay. Cold.
Okay. Now, is it
Yeah.
my computer?
Yeah, it's throwing me out. They don't like me. It's all right.
Okay. I'm not hearing you too well. We done lost Kevin. Okay.
I
So
wanted to, regards to what we're discussing, how important it is to laugh. And I realized that as a young person, when you grow up in trauma and dysfunction, laughing was my coping mechanism. So I've been making people laugh since I could talk, pretty much. And it is so, we are living in a crazy times. It's just like we can no longer say I can't believe that happened. I can't believe, because it's just things just keep happening. And one thing that I recognized when I was a young person, growing up in the church, was the golden rule: is to treat people how I expect to be treated. And when I look at, if I'm having a bad day or something's going wrong, I would always be like, well, let me see if I could put a smile on somebody else's face. And that always made me feel good. To be able to have the ability to make people laugh is huge, and it's very, very challenging. It's hard to be up in front of people and making them laugh. You could be funny at home and in your family, but when you're out in front of a crowd, it's like, I know I'm funny, y'all. My mama said I was. Okay. So
yeah. I know sometimes it can be a challenge, making people laugh, because I've seen some comedians get up there and really bomb out, especially when they have audience who want to say boo and say get off the stage and want to heckle them and all of that. Have y'all had any of those problems?
well,
In the cabin, have you had any of those problems?
Oh, you aiming for me?
Yeah.
Listen, I live. I have had a moment. I think all great comedians, they have experiences. I mean, that's what that gives you the seasoning on the chicken. Then, I do from. I'm in a lot of places doing comedy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you haven't had any problem with them just heckling you? Have you ever had that one?
That Wi-Fi cut out. Could you hear
Probably in
me?
the
Did
beginning,
it break out?
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
most of them beginning.
Have you ever had any problem with people heckling you?
Oh yeah, but I'm the heckler.
You're the heckler?
I'm the heckler. That's the I do this for a living. So for somebody that don't do it for a living to step up, that's you did that yourself.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just
Y'all, I think my internet don't like today for some reason. So, but I'm back.
Oh, okay.
we gotta join hands and add some more energy.
The devil is a lie.
This Wi-Fi ain't no joke. Well, I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi, but
Yeah.
But y'all sounding good. But as comedians, do y'all sometimes punish the audience with some jokes? I know sometimes comedians can be kind of harsh on people in the audience. But I used to think it was staged. But I mean, uh, because some people they can make your comedy set. I mean, but do you find yourself, punishing groups of people, in this what they call cancel culture? You say, well, I'm gonna let them know tonight who I am. I mean, do you find yourself
I think everything
sometimes
is been.
just
Go ahead though.
I was gonna say that for me, I try to make it where I am not picking on anyone because, like Mickey was saying earlier, we talk about the trauma that caused us to be this way,
right.
and I was the funny girl in school because of trauma. I knew what it was like to be on the receiving end of that. So mostly I make fun of myself and my own stupidity.
mm. Well,
Oh, okay.
since you there, that's a good introduction because you guys got to introduce yourself and let people know what got you into comedy. What you just said is your story. So can you just start out just letting us know what moved and motivated you to want to go into comedy? I know you said something about the pole and working,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
what kind of motivated you and what makes you stay in this industry?
Okay, first off, I want to say that in my family, I am the least funny person in my family. Everybody in my family is hilarious. But I used to have friends all the time that would tell me, girl, you need to be on somebody's stage with all that craziness that comes out of your mouth. So a few years ago, one of my biggest fans who always loved for me to make her laugh, she passed away unexpectedly.
Mm.
And when I went to her funeral, I made the promise that I was going to give that a try because she thought I was the funniest person she ever made. I mean, ever met. Lord, she didn't make me. You did. But she thought I was the funniest person she ever met. So I started putting, and I had another friend. He pushed me to go out and do an open mic. And when I went out and did that set and got a standing ovation, I was hooked.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Sounds good to me. So, how did you get started, Mickey?
Well, I grew up in a very family, just like Black Coffee was just saying, that are hilarious. So I grew up with my grandfather was very similar personality to Red Fox. So
Mm.
he talked like him, and it was like I had a similar sense of humor. And like my grandfather would pay me to cuss people out because I started talking early, reading early, and I was just such a little thing, and it was just so unexpected. So and then I had a real conservative mom who did not play that. So I couldn't cuss it like that in front of my grandmother and my mother. But my grandfather was like, going out there, little Mickey, and cuss them out. Cuss, we grew up in the hood, and I would be cussing crackheads out, and and it just got a lot of laughs from people. But I really was an actress. I've been an actress, and then I've always loved comedy. I've always I didn't realize how much I was really studying comedy when I was a child. I'm like watching Richard Pryor, and I'm watching things that the other kids aren't paying any attention to. I'm like paying attention to timing and punchlines and cadence and all that. I had a real understanding of it when I was young. So as an actress, I would, I play serious roles too, and I like to do funny roles, and a lot of people don't expect it from me. So that's where my interest started since a young baby. So now the scariest thing, acting is natural for me, but the comedy, I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared to do it. And I'm just like, I just got to get out there and do it. And I love it. Like, even it doesn't matter if I'm satisfied with it or not. Just the fact of getting out there and working, it's an art. It's a serious art, and I really respect it. And I believe in there's a lot of internet and social media is super popular now, so it's very different, but I respect the old ways of doing there, getting out there, doing different rooms, learning your crowd, and just working on it. So, I'm a cusser, but I've been working on the clean comedy because I think you can get a message across better in clean comedy. So my goal is to eventually, at the end of it's a more of the story. It's just things that people can relate to and be funny, but yet it's a more of a story so we can do better as human beings.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Cool. And we lost our other two guests. Hey.
I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, we have Flavor and the other, I forgot his name just that quick. Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
coming back?
Kevin. You want to tell us how you got involved in comedy?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Tell us how you got involved in comedy.
Oh well, I'm a PK down through and through. I mean, my granddad is a bishop, uncle's bishops, daddy bishops, mama pastor. It's just all the way around. I come from a line of church background. I started off doing Christian comedy from just doing stage plays. When you raised in the church, my dad's a writer. He's write books, plays, everything. So I grew up, doing helping them with the sets, helping them with writing, and I learned that on stage that I had stage presence. I get up there and I know how to wait for time, and like she was saying, waiting for your punchlines and knowing when to come in. I learned that at a very early age. And from there, I went on and got a degree in visual and performing arts and theater from Alabama State University. From there, like I said, I was still doing, I'm an actor at heart, just like her, I'm an actor at heart. But when you're in acting, you start to see that, it's kind of the same thing. You're waiting for your time, and the facial expressions, the gestures, the audience, the stage presence, it's all the same thing. And I think if you learn acting, then you pretty much can be a comedian. Even if you're not that funny, you still know how to tell stories. So that's pretty much where I dwell at the most. I like to tell stories, about my grandma and about being raised in the church, and my mom being in the praise team, looking at your child sitting there, she give you the booty lips and stand up and the. I like that. I like to tell the stories that that hit home for a lot of the older saints. But also, like I said, I moved to Atlanta now, so. I still do my Christian comedy, but I'm also I'm in certain spots as well, because I'm trying to get overall just well equipped as a comedian, learning all the aspects. So yeah, that's how it went.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but kudos to being a theater major. I was too.
Okay, all right, Miss Sylvia, I see you.
Yeah, I was a theater major too. I thought that was the best department on the whole campus.
And is.
Yeah.
It is.
I thought I wanted to be an actress as well, and I ended up being one of the first things I did was being an extra in the first Black Panther.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, don't get happy because all I saw was my thigh, and that's only because I knew what I was wearing and where I was standing. Okay, so don't go. The checks cashed, and that's what matters.
It matters.
So yeah,
Important.
the check
But at least you identified your thigh.
I did, girl. I got a screen capture of my thigh right now. Yep, that's me. That's me.
Okay. Yeah. 'Cause I know the first movie I was in, it was Don't Look Back about Satchel Paige, the black baseball player. And I'm going, I was right over there. That's where I was. I couldn't
You
see
gotta
it.
look back.
I knew where I was, but the camera just flashed so quick.
I know, right?
Yeah, so you
How
can't
they
see.
miss our moment like that, Sylvia?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot of mishaps in the camera editing thing. Because I know one time I was in one movie. A friend of mine and I, we were side by side, now touching shoulders. And when the movie came out, they saw him but didn't see me. They had cut me out. I'm going, how they do that?
That's what I'm talking about right now. Now you can't tell me I ain't pretty. So why you ain't put me up there? I don't get it. I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They know what they was doing.
Yeah.
Now, dude, you guys are like musicians. When you look at clean comedy versus, right at the edge, and then just taking it to that other level. It's like crossover. Do you find yourself in a position where, like I say, people want a good laugh, and I've seen what we call clean comedians, and then I've seen the ones that take off the table and just go all the way. And then I've seen people that go all the way, but they were not funny. You know what I'm saying? They did all the cursing, all the sexual innuendos, and they just didn't get the laugh. But in this day of I guess crossover, and crossover is really the money when you get to a level where you appeal to a larger crowd of people that's paying the money for your talent and your capabilities. Do you see difficulty today with all the stuff like internet comedians and different things they're doing, and but do you see any what's some of, I guess I say, what would be one of your biggest challenges when it comes to this arena now? Because I know you want to do a lot of big things, and you say, well, goodness, I got to be able to get to a wider audience. That means that I might have to entertain over here with the gospel or the Christian crowd. Then I might have to go over here with the secular crowd to get those numbers up and get that money, to get that bag. But do you guys see challenges there, or what are you doing about it?
I'll be honest. For me, it's kind of reverse when it comes to the comedy, because I started out blue and adult comedy, and so now I'm crossing over into a less blue, even Christian comedy. But I've always been two-faced.
Okay.
I was that friend that everybody wanted to talk to the parents, them out of the house, to go do mischief, so to speak. So I was the one that would go in and sound all intelligent and sweet and innocent and get everybody out of the house. But I was also the one that went in the store and bought the wine coolers. So, So for me, it's just according to the story I'm gonna tell. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I basically, I'm a multifaceted person. Like, the one thing about the churches that I've went to recently, my most recent pastor, she passed away. But what I loved about her, when they say come as you are, come as you are. Now, I don't believe in being disrespectful in the church. So I'm, but I definitely have always loved God. I've always loved church. And I said some wild things to my pastor, and she always told me, she actually was the one who said that I should do comedy. She would have me host things and stuff like that. But she had told me, you got to be your authentic self. And yes, I may cuss and I may take it to the streets on certain things. And people always tell me, you don't look like how you talk, even though that's where I come from, but I'm educated, I'm street smart, I'm all of that. So I know that I could go, I'm universal. So really what's important is just to be funny. And I found, as I've been practicing clean comedy, I'm getting the same laughs. It's really not any different. But sometimes talking dirty to certain crowds, their ears listen to that, like their attention spans are different. So it just depends on who you're in front of. So I'm still learning and growing. But I have to say, I really, really admire comedians who can be hilarious and not say one cuss word, because the cuss word shouldn't make the joke funny. It's really what you're talking about. And a lot of, when you get into the younger people, their attention span is real short. They like Chitlin circuit stuff, like nonsense. And, that type of stuff is not funny to me. And because I'm a natural cusser, I have to catch myself, because sometimes I'll look back at myself. I don't like looking at myself. I'll never watch the full show that I've done yet. But when I look at a little bit, I'm like, that all that cussing wasn't even necessary, but it was just how I'm used to talking. And then when I did the clean show, I was kind of proud. I'm like, these people laughing the same way. And I got to the point. So I'm still working on it. I'm not going to slip up on June 3rd. I'm not going to say any cuss words or nothing like that. It's going to be clean. But
Mickey,
I'm just trying to, like,
if you see me up there at that time and you see me swelling up and my eyes bugging out of my head, come get me, because I'm about to explode from not cussing. Because you a natural cusser, but I am
going
too.
to do Don't worry.
I think I got a few
I'm gonna
years.
like be the sensitive. I'll pass out.
Hey, we'll put a bucket out there for.
I can tell you are hilarious.
Mickey, I think I got a few cussing years on you. So
hey, we'll put a bucket out there if you see too many bad ones. Well, that might be a question, because when you think about curse words, they're low-level curse words, and there's some big ones.
Mm-hmm.
I can drive cussing from a Nissan all the way to an 18-wheeler. So
well, you know what?
I funny. Like, I don't. If I'm arguing or I'm debating with somebody, I do not cuss. I don't use cuss words. I only use cuss words when I'm being funny. So it's just hilarious. Cussing is hilarious to me. I find
your granddaddy started that.
It really is. It seasons up the mess to me. But and I'm not.
Granddaddy started that. Granddaddy started that, Mickey.
I know that.
Well, we might have to put a bucket out there for the big curse words. I knew back in my mom in those days, they would say, "God almighty no" would be like a curse word for them. God almighty no. And it sounds powerful, but it ain't like the MF word, or one of those big words. But it's got a little impact. But for softer ears, doggone it. But I guess with all the stuff that people go through, their ears have become less sensitive to certain things, because you go into certain places, and I've heard people use what we call cursing or profanity, but man, it was needed.
Yeah.
I mean, I fell out my seat.
Reggie, with that God Almighty know, that reminded me we from the same town.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yeah.
That
Our
reminded
folks,
us.
they invented their own style. Because everybody's got an expression. When it comes down, and that means that they don't went to that level. Uh, it's just that sometimes today those words have a little bit more bounce to them. But different comedians can use them differently, and they can you can dress them up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, with
Mm-hmm.
your Christian background, do you find yourself cursing, and how do your family react to that?
Well, my family don't go to my those shows. They know I got Christian shows that they can go to, so they don't. There's no need to even go over there.
Ah, well, if
uh,
you caught one of them in there, will you hold back?
well, I mean, my folks, I've always been an open book. They know they baby boy. They know they baby boy been had a mouth on them. But at the same time, me having my Christian background, I've always, I was raised to separate the two. That's part of the pad. That's part of that's stitched in me. So being, just doing clean comedy. That's I started off doing that before I went on stage and said any wrong words. I started off doing that. So they know, but they don't have to witness that.
Have either one of you found that the only way you can get the attention of audience if you started using curse words?
It's according to the room.
It's just like an
No.
investigation.
Yeah, it's according to the audience. And one of the things with me is I'm not one of those comedians that'll stay backstage or don't watch other comedians before. I watch the other comedians so that I can gauge the room. So looking at what the room responds to, that's part of my social work career, being able to read people. So, that dictates how I come at them, when I get the mic. And, I'll never forget one of the first times I was on stage doing comedy. Carlos Miller introduced me and he said, "Here she come, here go the church lady." By the time he had changed,
Whoa.
because everybody, when he said, "Here go the church lady," everybody kind of groaned, I was like, okay, y'all don't know me. Here I come. And by the time he got that mic back, he was like, wait a minute, I had that bit all wrong.
Yep. And
so you were using those Sunday school words.
With people like,
say what now, Mickey?
I was saying Jesus was hanging with people like us.
Right. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I say when we're talking about laughter being medicine and this, I think for myself, a part of what I deliver, and Sylvia, you know me because I love God. And I have a deep connection, but I also recognize on a daily basis in my other career, the one I'm going to retire from, I deal with 18-year-old street people, homeless people. So sometimes I have to go there with them and they need to know that Miss Jackie can do that. Yeah. But it also puts it in a perspective where they know that I have some experience and I'm somebody they can listen to. And so that opens the door for me to be able to reach them in a place where other people may not be able to.
Oh, okay.
So yes, because everybody's gonna get it in the four walls. So, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I agree 100%. Now I was saying I relate to that 100% because everybody's not going to be able to get touched. Like God uses all of us in different ways. It's just we got our lane and that's the lane. And everybody's not going to get it in the four walls. So sometimes just like she said, as a social worker, being able to understand and they can relate to her and trust her, God is speaking through her in that way to them. So, Yeah, and that's how that has been a struggle for me, trying always my whole life. Just always, I've always questioned stuff. Like I went to Catholic church, Baptist church, every type of church there is, I went to. And I would always question, like, things didn't make sense in the Catholic church to me. And I refused to get baptized in the Catholic church. I was like, listen, I understand y'all, I gotta talk to the priest to talk to God. It didn't make sense to me. But even the priest, every pastor, they all let me be me. Like they all let me be me. I remember I was the only one in the church choir who was not baptized and who couldn't take, they called it Eucharist at the Baptist church, but communion. I was the only one. And it was like, why is she standing up there? But the priest allowed that. He allowed it because he was like, you are really a forward thinker. I'm like, before I get baptized, I need to know what religion I want to be. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing, I'll never forget my aunt when I first started doing comedy. She was like, you ain't gonna be up there doing all that cussing and stuff, is you? I turned around to her. I say, okay, now I want you to put to them words I can't say because it wasn't invented when the Bible was wrote. So let me know what I'm forbidden to say. Of course, she said what she usually say, shut up and get out of here. So
okay. Or either one of you trying to do this full time or be doing comedy full time? Or is it just a sidekick for right now?
Oh, this full time. This the dream. This the goal. This the I mean, you can play with it as a side hustle, but that's all it'll ever be if you just let it be a side hustle.
Oh, okay.
And for me, yeah, like I said, I have a full-time career as a social worker, and I know that God uses me in that career, but he uses me in this as well. I wouldn't exactly call it a side hustle. I'd call it another vein to reach people because, I have had the opportunity to MC different shows and things of that nature and bring forward, and have people who follow me come in and support different causes and things of that nature. So, right now at the agency I work for, if we have anything on stage, I'm the one. And so it creates a larger venue for me to do what I feel like I've been led to do, and that's reach people.
Oh, okay.
And I had a question because now you just did a good lead in because there's so many other things that you can do when you look at a lot of whether it be MCing, a lot of talk shows, radio shows. They had to bring comedians in. If you look at a lot of the morning shows, whether it would be uh,
Steve Harvey,
Steve Harvey and them, uh,
Ricky
uh,
Smiley,
Ricky
D.L.
Smiley,
Hughley.
Mike Robbins and them had to bring some folk in, Wanda Smith and
Frank Ski.
Frank Ski.
Yep.
Everybody had to go get somebody that could. You didn't have to do a whole lot of punchlines, but you got to keep some tempo going to break the monotony of the traffic or the monotony of the news. So even when you look at people like David Stern or Bill Maher, all them folk had some type of roots within comedy, and a lot of comedians now. I look at D.L. Hughley. D.L. might have some comedy skits in there, but he hitting them with some real stuff. And there's a lot of comedians, so there's a lot of doors open out there, acting, because people always want somebody with a sense of humor that goes back to Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis days, vaudeville. Comedians have always, people, even Red Fox, Richard Pryor, all of them, Flip Wilson, all them brothers and sisters, Della Reese, they were able to keep something going and that length in that career. But I guess the question would be, do you see yourself doing some things like that, like a morning show or even whatever type thing? What would be something on your comedian bucket list that you would like to do?
Well, I
Well,
think comedians, the majority of comedians are brilliant people. Like their minds, and they're highly intelligent. Even the ones that are not, they might not be saying the most intellectual comedy, but in order to put a joke together and the wit and the cleverness, it's just a gift, and either you got it or you don't, and it can be used in different realms. For me, I've done radio, I've done TV, I've been in films, I'm a writer, I'm behind the scenes, but my corporate job that it limits me somewhat. So I'm trying to transition where I could just be fully enveloped in entertainment. So that's my goal. Like right now, I'm doing a podcast. I'm writing a short film. I'm partnering with somebody to do a stage play. So I have a lot of things going on that hopefully I'll be able to quit my job, and because I can't do the pole, my knees are I'm getting older. My knees are not the same, so I can't do any stripping on the side. So I got to make it work. And I like to be in front of the camera and behind the camera just as much.
Mm-hmm.
and I have had radio shows. Well, yeah, I've been a part of a radio show, and I was also host of an internet radio show that discussed everything from romance to politics. I have done things like I have entertained at bachelorette parties and birthday parties, graduation parties, and things of that nature. So I think that this is more a creative outlet for me, because Mickey said corporate career, but corporate pay better than what I do. But in my other career, I deal with a lot of serious, heartbreaking things. Every day, there is somebody that comes in that tells me something. No, I have to close the door and scream out, because it's so painful to hear. So this is an outlet, a venue for me it's therapy for me to get some of that
Yes.
secondary trauma out.
Yes.
Okay. So I know a lot of time people, they're seeking help mentally when they go do things for shopping, for instance. They might be stressed out and they go shopping to help them out. Have anybody ever came to you after a show and said, your show really did lighten my burden, or said something to make you feel like you helped them through the day, that night?
More so than even the show. Like I said, every day I deal with people who have serious issues. And many of them come by my office and stop into my office because they know once they spill all the serious stuff, I'm going to let them leave laughing. So, every day, like I said, and Mickey, I thank you for saying that. I don't know about that intelligence stuff when it comes to me, but we'll talk about that later. But as far as
Oh, it's true.
But as far as being able to use this gift, I've seen it as a gift my entire life. And a part of it has been people coming to me, and because I can make them laugh sometimes, and Mickey, you may have the same experience. Because I can make them laugh, they come and trust me with the ugliest stuff. But they count on me to make feel better before they leave.
Oh, okay.
And so,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
to use this gift.
Yeah.
Yes.
Blessed with the gift.
And you're a creative. Right. And fellow creatives, it's almost like we shine a light. Sometimes we don't even realize we're shining a light. I've had different jobs within corporate America, and not just the stage is my platform for comedy. It's everywhere. It's everything I do, And a lot of in order to be so funny, you are normally a person, most comedians struggle with depression. They can go to a very dark place just as easily because we're so used to making everybody else laugh and smile that we kind of just go off on our own when we're feeling down. Like I know I'm like that. I don't like, if I'm having a bad day, I don't like to talk to anybody. I don't go to anybody to help me get through it. You know, I'll probably talk to God, and then like I had to take a leave from work at one point, and comedy was so therapeutic. I kept doing comedy. And it was just, so when you say, have people come up to me to say, oh, you know, thank you for that. Not so much after comedy shows just yet. But just in my regular life, like I'll go to the office and they nickname me Sunshine. Now this is two different companies. They nickname me Sunshine because when I walk in, I'm bringing something to the office. Now I work remotely, but when I was in the office, you just set a whole tone, you know. And I know a lot of people said they would have quit the job if I wasn't their coworker, you know. So that did mean a lot. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. I was working at one job. Of course, it was just me listening to the radio and cracking up, and that made everybody else laugh. Because I be listening to the radio and the stuff they be saying. I be just killing myself laughing, and everybody else and all those cuticles around me started laughing. You know, so it's like brighten up their day, made them feel better just to hear a laugh.
I know if I walk into even my youth, I work at a homeless shelter, even my youth, if I walk in there and I'm not smiling and messing with people and all that kind of stuff, everybody wants to know what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the expectation. Mickey girl, we need to exchange contact information because we might need to help each other through some of
Oh, but God is lying. He always lining it up. He always lining
Amen.
it up.
Amen.
I'm doing a short film. I might Black Coffee Thigh in one of my movies.
Oh,
Did you hear me?
Any part of me you want to. It ain't just got to be the thigh. You can use the whole chicken.
That sounds good. Do y'all have any shows coming up?
At this point, most of the stuff I've been doing lately is private. So June 3rd is going to be my big thing coming out. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to need a lot of support. So I'm pushing folks to go and buy these tickets because they need to be out there holding hands and praying that, you know, I can keep up with the theme of being, clean.
Yeah. Okay.
You're going to be able to keep up. I like to get out 3 times a week. But the same thing, I'm kind of like private. I can't, you know, I got a few unhealthy stalkers, so I have to do like a delay. Like I can't let everybody know where I'm where I'm at. But I'm at every comedy spot there is in Atlanta. I'm there at some point. So but yeah, nothing I'm gonna shout out. But the June 3rd, definitely. Like the any clean thing I will shout that out. And I have a lot of people that will come and support.
Well, Mickey, when you talk about those stalkers, see, I'm still single and it's getting desperate times, so you can send them over to me. at least I get the attention.
You might not want all that smoke.
They ain't gonna want this smoke. Is what
Gladly, I will. I sure will.
as the birthdays go by, I go, wait a minute. What did I tell him? No.
Let me rethink this.
Right, I got to wait a minute. What was that dude named 6 years ago?
I mean, he didn't leave a bruise.
Right. You know.
I do have a smart mouth. Then you'd start making excuses of what you you did wrong.
Right. Be like, he wasn't so bad and he had a job.
He got a job. Okay, he may have been missing 2 teeth, but so what?
Right. We can get that fixed.
We can get the teeth fixed. We can get his
Sure
feet
can. I got
smelling
benefits.
good. We can get rid of those bunions. We can get rid of that fungus he got. I think scratching my sheets up.
Yeah.
I think we can get with. I can live with that.
The health, dental, and vision insurance on my job good. Okay, it's good, honey.
So do you want your stalker to have a job?
Huh?
You want your stalker to have a job?
We gotta help your brothers out.
He better have a job. Eat a lot.
Wait, I didn't hear what you say.
Sylvia asked if I want my stalker to have a job. I told her he better have one. I eat a lot. I don't look like this for no reason.
And y'all going to all them clubs, you better have some money.
If I'm getting on that, well, look, if I'm getting on that stage, they better have my money.
I understand that, but comedy, the topic is the feel-good medicine. So I feel that comedy does make people feel good. I know when I'm in a depressive mode, I cut on the television, I go to the movies and watch some comedy, something that's funny. And it always lightens my spirit. So I am delighted in doing this show, comedy, because I love comedy. I love making people laugh. I was one of those people who did things in my home and got laughs with it, and nobody else could do it because I did something one time and it was funny, and my baby sister tried to do it, and my mom looked at her and she said, "See, I did it."
Yeah, you gotta be you. You can't be anybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have this flip mouth. I have always had it. Well, that's the way my grandmother described it. Look, you and that flip mouth of yours, all right now. You like teeth, so
Yeah, my mouth got me out of I was always the smallest one. I'm always, the light bulb in the family, and it got me out of a lot of fights because I had such a mouth that people are like, the way she's talking, she must be able to do something. I mean, literally. And I know Ash had mentioned that before too, that her being funny got her out of getting jumped. I'm literally, I got stories. They're inappropriate, so I won't share them on this platform. But I have stories where my mouth, based on what I said, was so shocking that it saved me from getting my tail whooped. I've never been in a fight yet. So hopefully that remains the same.
I can't say that, Mickey, because I a lot of, but what I can say is that there were a number of times during fights that I made people laugh that were watching the fight. So
okay.
It was a comedy fight. So. As a matter of fact, one of my best friends right now talk about how I beat her up, and she had no choice but to be my friend after that.
Exactly. I fight with my words. That's how I'm always gonna fight. And usually people who want to get physical is because they can't think quick enough, or they can't articulate something. So now they want to get physical. And I'm not trying to hit nobody or get hit. So,
well,
see, I didn't start it, but I did finish them.
Well, you know what, y'all just made something. The mic is a weapon. When we look at some of the comedians that have been doing the Netflix, and they were able, whether it be Chris Rock, use the mic as a weapon. I think Monique just used the mic as a weapon.
Yes.
A lot of comedians because you got that mic. It's like a pastor in a way too, because a preacher can use his platform as a weapon, and you
Exactly.
guys got that capability. They said the worst thing you do is mess with it because you got the mic. And that's what
Yep.
you do. I mean, I done seen these comedians and tear some folk up. I felt sorry for them.
Yep.
Mm.
The tongue is a mighty sword. That's the truth.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That tongue can mess you up sometime, though.
It can.
But at least you know what? I think what's in America, freedom of speech, and the First Amendment I think is freedom of speech. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms, because your mouth can put you in a position where you might have to bear some arms. But people that had quick wit have always moved and inspired a lot of people. Believe it or not, I think they said Benjamin Franklin was like uh, they called it a joyful person. They didn't say comedian, but Benjamin Franklin, believe it or not, during the forefathers and all that type of stuff, he was the one that brought a little humor to the seriousness that they were doing.
You
I
can
will
tell
believe
that from some of his quotes.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, yeah.
Yep. You're right. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, but my goal is never to. I know. See, I've been heckled one time, but it was harmless. And my goal is never to be offensive. So I know some of the things I say may offend people, but my intent is never to be offensive. I'm not trying to pick on nobody. I'm just trying to make you laugh. And if I make you a part of my show by talking to you, it's normally a more uplifting. It's more uplifting thing. It's a compliment. It's like if you're wearing something that I think is ridiculous and funny, I might talk about you to a friend, but I'm not going to put you on a public, you sitting up there thinking you looking good. I'm not going to highlight that. That's not my goal. So I don't really get a lot of people heckling me or or anything like that. And the one guy that did heckle me, he really looked like Flavor Flav's grandfather. Like, I mean, no joke. He had on, I want to say the fur coat he had on, it had to be city squirrel. I don't know what type of animal, and he had gold teeth, and he came there to be nasty. And it wasn't just me. He got under everybody's skin. I was featuring for Barbara Carlisle, and he bothered Barbara, he bothered everybody, but it didn't really bother me. I just laughed because he was like, "Don't use me in your jokes." I'm like, "Sir, you are the joke. You came looking like a joke. Like, I don't, what is the problem?" But then I just, I kept it moving because it could be dangerous. Somebody that he was so aggressive and hostile. I was like, okay, I'm going to leave him alone. And Barbara ended up schooling him, and he ended up leaving. But, I don't want to go back and forth with anybody that.
I know when I go to comedy shows, I don't sit up front because I don't want them to get me. that and being with my husband too, because a comedian be up there saying something, and my husband gonna say something to embarrass me. So it's like it's a double-edged thing. My husband and the comedian.
Oh no!
Both of them. Trying
what
to
they
be fun. One out doing the other one.
Right. I said, what they got to pick on you about? You don't look like an easy target.
I'm not. No, it's just the comedian might say something, and then my husband gonna respond.
Right.
He responds to some of the stuff that the comedians say, but he might ask a question, or he might ask a sexual question, and my husband respond.
Okay.
And then he appointed me, make like I was the one who doing the stuff that the comedian was talking about. It's like, don't you do that?
Well, they got the mic.
Yeah.
I cannot be visible in the audience if Carlos Miller eats. Cause he come at me every time because he know we gonna go back and forth.
Really?
Whole sideshow.
See, I can take it. I got and I don't like if you can dish it, you should be able to take it, right? And I know, Sylvia,
Exactly.
you're not, and so that's not on you to be able to. But I be wanting people like to really get on me, and they don't really be getting on me, and I'm like, come on, why? I know it's something y'all could talk about. You could talk about me because most of the time, if you say something about me, if it's really funny, I'm gonna laugh. You know, I mean, you got to laugh at yourself to do this.
Nard Host was a good friend of mine. And
Not just passed away.
Yeah. He was a good friend of mine. And he was the one that came up with booty do. My belly further than my booty do. So one day he was introducing me at Uptown, and he said something about me being old. And when I got the mic, I turned around and told him I want a paternity test when that baby is born, because you keep saying it's mine.
Exactly.
Right.
But Nard had that ability. Like, some comedians could talk about people, and they got that thing. We all got our different lanes. He's somebody that could do that. He can do it and do it well.
Yeah, I miss him a whole lot. Him and Dirty South.
Oh my God, I love that's Dirty South was one of, oh my gosh, she showed me so much love when I first started. Because I mean, how good are you gonna be when you first start? You're horrible, but she's making the crowd laugh because she does that. How she,
right.
And she's so funny to me and so authentic too. She was like her real self, and because a lot of people want to tell you how to be. Like, oh, Mickey, you got to say this and say that. I'm like, I can't say stuff like that because that's not who I am. I can't. And they're like, well, it ain't gonna work. People ain't gonna like you. I'm like, well, I don't know. Enough people do like me, and everybody ain't supposed to like me, so it's okay.
Right. And Dirty used to say, I could walk in the club. If I was feeling bad, I was gonna feel good as soon as she saw me, because you know how she was. Hey, pretty baby, there go my pretty baby. Come here.
Yep. Grab your hair.
Yeah. Oh, she used to rub on my legs because I like to have my legs out. She'd rub on my legs.
Okay.
Yeah, Dirty was
very. That was Dirty.
He was very, very special. Right. Well respected.
Oh, okay. Cool. So we've run out of time. I have enjoyed this, and I hope somebody said made somebody laugh, because I laughed a few times.
Oh yeah.
So did I. Mickey, you funny.
Yeah. Feel good medicine. Laughter is a feel good medicine. And you guys, you have a great job, a great occupation. Comedy, being a comedian. I think that's up there with acting.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming. Oh, tell people how you can be reached.
Okay. My page on Facebook is Black Coffee Entertainment and Inspiration. And on Instagram, I'm KCOFFEEMC. That's Black Coffee MC.
Oh, okay. And Mickey?
I'm on Instagram at I am Mickey Shan. I know it looks like it's Chan. It's confusing. That's the real way you spell it too. But it's pronounced Shan. But I like it because people don't, I'm mysterious. They think I'm smarter than what I am. But anyways, it's I am Mickey Shan, and it's spelled MICKICHAN. And on Facebook, I'm not that active on Facebook, but I believe that's Mickey Shan too.
Oh, okay.
For now, but I do everything from Instagram point.
Oh, okay. Great. Yeah. Glad to have you guys. We're looking forward to seeing you on June the 3rd.
Yes.
I am looking forward to it, because we got not only do we have the comedians, but we have also the gospel singers as well. Yes. So we're gonna lift the spirit and fill them with joy. That's what we're gonna be doing on the 3rd.
And we
like I used to in the choir.
Huh?
We're not
as long as they don't sound like I used to in the choir.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, and the place is
Con-
don't tell me the name of forgetting the name of the center
Connect
Connect Point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Connect Point on 3755 Centerville Highway. It's in Snellville.
North
Okay, the
Georgia.
Connect Point, yeah, Comedy Club. He's called it the Comedy Club, Connect Point Comedy Club. And of course, when you say it, you're gonna say this is a church, but yeah, that's
Okay.
where it is. Your Connect Point Center Club,
Okay.
Comedy Club.
That might keep my language right if that's what it looked like.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like a church. Yeah, it is a church. Actually, sometimes they do church service in there, so we got to keep it good for the good Lord.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get struck by lightning that night. So
No, no lightning,
Y'all
because
gonna be all
everybody's
right.
gonna be good.
That's right.
Real good.
No worries. I got you, Black Coffee. I got you.
thank you, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been awesome, and Mickey, I love you. The
I
two
love
of
you
you
too.
know I love them, but I love you, girl.
Oh, and we're gonna connect. I'll make sure I get your information.
Definitely.
Okay. So, Reggie, any last words?
Keep smiling. Stay happy. Find a way to enjoy. And make sure you come out in June and do something that's gonna put a smile on your face. Listen to somebody that's gonna make you happy, make you feel good. It's good to feel good. It reduces stress, and it also reduces heart attacks and strokes and diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I didn't know about the diabetes part though, but I know it. I know it does reduce the stress.
Oh yeah.
And keep you from having heart attacks.
Actually, that's
Yeah.
a direct correlation. The stress can increase your blood sugar. So if you have the release of the laughter, it can help lower it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is Team
Gotcha.
Live Long, people. Team Live
Hey,
Long. That's what we doing.
my
Yeah.
grandma passed at almost at 103. She was almost 104. I plan on doing that too.
Mm.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
She must have been a good woman.
Oh, child, she was a pistol.
Yeah, but happiness does, happy people do live a long time. As I said earlier, happy people live a long time. So you guys, you're making people live a little while longer, taking away some of the pain and stress. You are greatly appreciated. I look forward to hearing you. And people out there, laughter makes you happy. Just
Thank
remember
you
that.
guys for having.
Huh?
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Glad to have you. Look,
Yeah,
I'm
thank you
always
all.
eager to promote people and put them out there when they're doing good. So making people happy and smile, that's something good. You want to share the joy. So I have no problem with that whatsoever. Appreciate you being here. Okay. And so this is going to conclude our show. I thank you all for showing up, being here, and just remember to love yourself and laugh always. Because again, laughter makes the world go round. Happy people are long living people. You don't be stressed, you don't be sick, and all of that good stuff. So be happy, share love, make somebody else happy, not just keep it all to yourself. When you see somebody that's upset and need a smile, give them a smile. Even if you had to draw a smile on a piece of paper to hand it to them, sometimes that will make them smile. Make somebody smile and happy. Doing small things or just calling people, you'll be surprised. Just calling somebody up and say hello will make them happy. Okay, spread joy, spread love, and don't forget my book, Power Thoughts, Empowering You to Be Successful in Life. You can get it on Google. You can Google it and get the book, Power Thoughts by Sylvia Hayes, Empowering You to Be Successful in Life. Okay, and so until next time, keep smiling, keep your head up, and enjoy life. Y'all have a good one.